Such a beautiful island.
Mykonos Island, built from the corpses of giants slain by the legendary Iraklis.
Read me the note again.
Eagle-bearing Mystios, that's you. We are a small but fierce group of rebels who'd pay you handsomely to help us overthrow our Athenian oppressors. A warrior named Diocles fights with them. None who face him survive. Please, Mystios, our people are dying. Signed, Kira.
What did your informant tell you?
Word has already spread of you
Ahí el
sinking
corte
those
bien,
ships.
Semedo.
There's a price on your head.
That didn't take long.
There's also word of Spartans landing on Mykonos.
So, I'm here to find Kira, who wants me to kill Diocles.
An Athenian ally.
Who's at war with Sparta.
And don't forget the bounty!
Business as usual, then.
Gods protect you, Cassandra.
Thanks, Varnavas. But they'll be too busy protecting Diocles from me.
We've been spotted! Go! I'll handle this!
Fight them for all you're worth! Ella. Mercenary. This can't be good.
The mighty eagle bearer! Ha! I'll be rich when you're dead!
You're chasing your own death, mercenary!
You won't escape me!
You want my head? Come and take it!
You can't defeat!
Varnavas was right. Spartans have made themselves right at home. I'm looking for Kira.
What do you want with her?
The mercenary who bears the eagle of Zeus. You got my message.
It said something about paying me handsomely.
Ha! Mercenaries.
Athenians have enslaved our people for too long. Help us free Mykonos from their grasp, and you'll have more drachmi than you can carry.
I'm here to kill Diocles, not go to war.
Which is why I sent word of our rebellion to you and Sparta.
My men are ferocious in a ground assault, but we're outnumbered.
And Diocles fights with the fury of Ares.
Join us in battle. If you're half the warrior Kira says you are, we'll grind these Athenians into dust.
All right, Spartan. I'll fight with you. But Diocles is mine.
To battle then.
Hi, everyone. And thank you for joining us. And thanks to everyone watching from home. To our teams, it's an honor to work with some of the best in the world. Congratulations on a great show. Yeah. Good. I am an optimistic guy, and I am particularly excited about the future of technology and the positive role games will play in shaping our society. To create these games, we need to work even more openly with you, the gamers, because we know when we do that together, everything gets better. So have a great E3. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. Oh, okay.
Washington, D.C. in the Division 2, right? And this is actually, they're on their way towards that same crash site that we saw in the EP.
Right, the
Microsoft brief, yeah.
Yeah, the crash of the Air Force One. Except
Exactly.
right now, it's happening at a different entry point than what was shown at the Microsoft conference. Am I right?
Exactly, yeah.
And so obviously the big reveal was the setting, Washington, D.C., capital city of America. Christian, I want to ask you, what was the reasoning behind that? Can you tell us a bit more?
Yes, absolutely. We were very excited to showcase that yesterday in our reveal and to show more, of course, today. We had multiple options. We investigated multiple options, but for us, Washington, D.C., we investigated multiple options, but for us, Washington, D.C. felt like the natural choice for two obvious reasons. One, of course, is the seat of power in U.S., and second, it's also the home of the headquarters of the division.
Right, the HQ of the division agents,
Absolutely.
right? That's awesome. And I can see there is no more snow nor ice. Can you tell us a little more about really the timeline from the division to the Division 2?
Yes, absolutely. In Washington, D.C., we are now in the middle of the summer, 7 months after the events in New York City. So the summer, the season, allow us to showcase a vibrant city where nature is now taking over the city.
It's beautiful. Hey, Yannick, can you do just like a pan? Oh, I guess you're in action right now, but just like the pan of the city here. I mean, obviously, it's beautiful in its own way. It's got character. Yannick, why don't you tell us a bit more on how you plan to tackle your playthrough?
Try to, spread around actually, so, we can have a bit of a tactical approach to things and not just like face tank. So that's, we'll see how that plays out.
I think we should pay extra attention to Yannick.
Yes, exactly, and just judge him,
Don't
no
judge
pressure.
me. I've been judged for my hand wave already earlier, so.
Okay, so Matthias and Christian, I played some of the Division. I haven't played hundreds of hours like the thousands of players out there. If there was a few things you could say about the Division 2 that new players should know, what would you say?
The list is long. I mean, we're very excited, both as gamers at the office and as devs, right? Of all the things we refined, tweaked, and tuned from the Division 1. Everything from the combat to refining the RPG and all that. So there's a lot of that, but also a lot of new things. So I think where they are right now, the open world is one of them. It's first of all, 20% bigger than the first game, New York. And it's very, very faithfully recreated, almost one-to-one with the actual DC, right?
That's amazing. And sorry to cut you off, but Christian, you mentioned, so you guys chose watching the DC. I'm curious, did the team take any trips there to kind of really get an authentic recreation of Washington, DC?
Absolutely. We had multiple trips after we chose this setting, and we met with different architects from the city, with urban explorers, with artists from local artists
that's
to make sure that everything, it's looking beautiful in the game.
So people living in Washington, DC can kind of walk around and try to find their homes?
Absolutely. Although this is an interpretation of Washington, our interpretation of Washington, D.C. is going to be a bit more, let's say, with more nature into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then also this open world in the Division 2 is very much alive. We put a lot of love, sweat, and effort into creating this living world system where not just the enemy factions of the world spread out in different areas, right? But also the civilians that you're fighting to help and protect. They're all doing things in the open world dynamically.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they're acting on needs, resources and goals of what they're trying to achieve, not least to control these key strategic locations like this control point here by the crash site. And this creates a lot of movement and activity, and ultimately things for you to do as a player and surprise.
Right.
Because you don't know what's going to happen around the next corner. Right?
Absolutely. A lot of gameplay opportunities for the player to kind of pick and choose exactly what it is that they want to do. And so right now they have reached the control point. I take it. How you doing there, Yannick?
Try to rush into it, and we're pushing our way through. So far it's fine, but we have the tank coming now, so...
Oh, well, good luck with that. Matthias, so what faction are they playing against right now?
They're playing against a faction called the True Sons. Nasty people.
Nasty people that they should get rid of.
Yeah.
And so I know another big reveal, big new feature that was mentioned during the Ubisoft conference are the specializations. Right. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Specializations is really adds a new extra layer and dimension to endgame, where you've been going on this incredible journey through the game, through the leveling game, the campaign. You've been growing in both power and capability.
Right.
You've been getting new skills, mods for those skills, weapons and gear, etc. When you get to endgame, you're presented with a choice of how do you really truly want to specialize now.
Right.
The first choice is the signature weapons that we saw in the conference, right?
Right, and I think it's important to note, I think that these specializations, they're not like roles that a player kind of sticks to. They can kind of choose to grow which skill tree, am I right?
Absolutely. Each one of them is a progression track in itself. It's not just a signature weapon, and this signature weapon, it's important to note, it sits on top of the rest of your toolbox. You're not changing something out, you're gaining more things.
Right.
And then, very much along the lines of the design philosophy that we have, you're growing capability. So you can progress one specialization all the way, then the next one, and the next one.
And then you become the ultimate
player. Exactly. You get full flexibility to
and you're going to need to become that, because we also announced today that for the first time in a Division game, we have raids.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Absolutely incredible challenges.
That's an 8-player co-op, is that it?
Absolutely. It's up to 8-player co-op, and you need to be prepared for that. It's going to be very hard to tackle that challenge.
That is very cool. Yannick, how are we doing here?
Like that.
Like
Just blowing stuff up with my grenade launcher.
Have you been downed yet?
So Yannick, you're playing the demolition special.
It's surprising.
I feel like he didn't do as good during the rehearsals, but I feel like the pressure has caused him to up his game. All right, so if well, I think we're done taking over this control point now. Yannick, why don't you come join us over here? Let's talk about this.
We did it.
we did it! Yay!
So that was not too ridiculous, but it's okay.
Well, now that you're here, I think we've got.
Yeah,
Stick to the
make us
pot
proud.
and show us what you got.
Thank you.
All right, Yannick, so tell me, how do you think you did?
I think my team did great.
So they did all the work and you just like stood there watching.
They did all the
Amazing.
work, and I was basically just like trying to not look too ridiculous. So
Amazing. Well, Yannick, so as obviously comm dev, you were comm dev on The Division, and now comm dev on The Division 2. You've played hundreds of hours, much more than me, of The Division. So playing The Division 2, what can you tell me about that experience?
What's great with playing The Division 2 is that, as you said, I played a lot of hours of The Division 1 and like 600 or 700 hours of that game, which for our community is like okay, yeah, it's not so bad. But still, and playing The Division 2, what I really love is that it really feels like a Division experience. It really feels like I'm playing The Division. I directly know the controls. I directly know, how to move around and how to handle it. But it feels very fresh. There are so many changes, so many small things, so many new things, new skills, the signature weapon. Even the open spaces, the way to approach combat with, like the 360 and everything. It's just, yeah, it feels like a very completely fresh new experience.
That's awesome. If there was one or two things that you'd say was the most requested in The Division that you could say maybe coming to The Division 2, is there anything you talk about that?
I think specializations is something that like Division players, like experienced Division players, are going to love because it's really directly fulfilling that fantasy of like I really want to go in that kind of role and I want to like grow more and more into it, especially in endgame, and so I think this is going to be something that Division players are going to love.
That's awesome. So let's check in with Think Pan over here. I think she may be trying to tackle the control point in a different way. I mean, and it's something that you can do in The Division, right? You can kind of really tackle any challenge the way that you want with the play style that suits you.
Right, and so it's important to note that what they're playing here, this is not a mission. Right, this is just one of the many open world activities that you encounter when you're out and about exploring the world. And that's another aspect of DC being a fantastic setting for us. That it's like, for people who haven't been there, it's a very diverse city in terms of its different biomes and districts. We have almost jungle-like nature up around the Potomac, and then these big wide open spaces of the mall really lends themselves to open area combat like we saw, where we can really think about, okay, how are we going to approach this situation?
Right, how to strategize exactly with like your team of co-op players, or I mean, you can go at it alone if you wanted to.
You can play everything in The Division, if you so will.
That's awesome. I mean, Yannick, I think we've got some questions from the community.
We've got a couple questions. We have XX Inside XX who's asking us, is the DZ coming back?
Absolutely, we're going to have Dark Zone in The Division 2. It's going to be a revised version of the Dark Zone, and it's going to be ready at launch.
Revised as in
nice.
As in absolutely fantastic.
The best Dark Zone ever. All right. We also have a session who's asking when does the beta start and how to sign up to it.
What we try to do with the beta is that as long when we get closer to the launch, we want to be very, very prepared. And so closer to March 15, we're gonna be able to give you more details about how when we're gonna start the actual beta plan.
Okay, but you can sign up now.
You can sign up now, right? Exactly. thedivision.com/beta. Register now.
You're such a pro. You're so good.
And so, what kind of presents you guys have at E3 this year? You've got the booth, the Ubisoft booth, where people can play the demo that we're showing right now. And I believe comm devs have some live streams on the Tuesday and Wednesday as well.
Yes, we're going to start our live streams tomorrow. We are going to be streaming for like 2 days, total of like 14 hours of live stream. We're going to be showing more of the demo. We're going to be sitting down with some of you guys, showing people from the team, showing people from the community. we have a lot of things coming.
Amazing. And so you mentioned a closed beta. People can register right now. Where is it that they can register? Is there a website?
I will say that again.
Do your thing.
Division.com/beta. Register now to have a guaranteed place in the beta program that we're gonna run for the division.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Pana.
And I've got a last question. When is the division coming out? The Division 2?
Yes, Division 2 is coming out March 15, 2019.
March 15, 2019.
Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC.
Save the date. Thank you for watching, everybody. This was the post show. We showed some exclusive The Division 2 gameplay, met the devs. Thanks for spending time with us. Thank you, and have a great E3.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.
Bye-bye.